This week on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. It's the game we spent the offseason waiting for. Tom Brady and the Patriots are in Jacksonville for an AFC Championship rematch.
It's a new year. That's how it is every year. Whatever happened in the past, you forget about it.
We're sitting down with Doug Marrone to break down the matchup. Plus,
if you want to show kids that no matter where you come from or what your background is, you can make it to where you want to go.
We're taking you in the community with quarterback Blake Bortles. All that and more ahead on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend.
This is TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. TIAA Bank, created to serve, built to perform.
Let's get ready next week, dog. Y'all know who we got. Y'all know what? Hey, hey. Y'all understand what it is, dog? Let's go. Week 2-0.
Nothing else needs to be said. The Jaguars are ready to face the AFC champions. Hello and welcome to TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. I'm Ashlyn Sullivan. The game we've been looking forward to is finally here. The Jaguars have their work cut out for them. They've never beaten Brady and Belichick. They have a chance to do that on Sunday. Doug Marrone and the Jags have said the AFC Championship game is behind them, but that doesn't mean they've forgotten about it. This city is looking for revenge, but this team knows the stakes are much higher. This isn't the AFC Championship game, but it is a chance to make a statement. Taking down Foxborough's finest would give the Jaguars the upper hand in the AFC.
I've been hearing it for a long time about how excited people are to come to this game and be there for the week 2 and rematch of last year's AFC Championship. So I'm sure it'll be fun.
TIAA Bank Field will be packed with fans anxiously awaiting a rematch. But the Jaguars see it as their second regular season game against one of the toughest opponents in the league.
And we're not looking at the fact that we played them and the outcome of what that game was and saying that we understand the situation. We know where we want to go. We know what we want to do. Week 2, they on the schedule.
Joined now by Brian, Sexton, and John Oehser. Guys, we heard two different sides of the spectrum this week. One side is this is a week 2 regular season game. The other side is this is a rematch of the AFC Championship game. How should they approach it?
Well, I think they're going to try to approach it as if it's a week 2 game that is not the be-all, end-all. And I think if the better they do that, the better they'll be. But the fans, the buzz, the aura, the whatever, it's all going to be about the rematch, about the statement and all that. And if they win, it's a statement.
Well, I mean, you heard the coach's message to the team and the players' response. I mean, guys immediately, well, no, this isn't a revenge game. This game is about playing in front of our home fans for the home opener. I mean, it was just, why don't we have Doug come into the locker room and say this, right? I mean, that's what, and great. But individually, whatever works, right? If you're motivated by revenge, then treat it as revenge. If you're motivated by being laser focused on a week 2, then use that. Individually, each player has to get ready themselves to play this game. Whatever works.
I think the thing that does make sense is the statement game part. Kind of being honest, but I do think they can make a statement for this season winning this game.
The Patriots roster, they have Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, but other than that, they don't have a lot of stars. But that doesn't seem to be a problem for them ever.
They haven't needed him. You can go back through the years and look at the guys that Brady has had around him. And there have been moments where they were, no names. Troy Brown is his #1 receiver. And moments with superstar Hall of Famers like Randy Moss, who gave them 25 touchdown passes in 2007. It never matters because he is the star. And he's so good, he lifts everyone around him.
They're not stars, but they're good. And they do what's necessary within their scheme, and they do what they're coached to do. So he always knows where they are, and that's really the biggest thing. On defense, it's the same way. They're not stars, but they do find a way to get young players to perform at a high level. They're really good at letting them go at the right time. But there's enough key veterans, McCourty, guys like that, who can be cores to keep it together, but obviously it's Brady.
The coach is also a star.
Absolutely. One star we just mentioned, tight end Rob Gronkowski, a really big body, hard to defend. How do you control him?
Hope. Hope he doesn't catch it. Hope you cannot. I think it was Sean Gibson on Wednesday. He's going to win some, but you hope you can get enough passes defense where he doesn't dominate the game. Sort of similar to how you do Odell Beckham Jr. last week. He's going to get some catches. You hope he doesn't get those monster catches, and you hope they don't happen in the end zone.
Well, they'll have a plan for him. Jalen Ramsey will probably be a part of it. It wouldn't hurt if they rough him up at the line of scrimmage and don't let him get into the pattern.
Guys, we saw an awesome atmosphere last year in the playoffs with Buffalo. Do we expect something the same this week?
Well, I think it might even be bigger. And, It was interesting to me, Brian, on Wednesday when Myles Jack was talking about this. He talked about the fact that they'd earned it. And at the beginning of last year, I think a lot of the players weren't sure that this atmosphere would ever happen. So I do think there's something to these players talking about being excited for that first home game. They feel like they saw in the last 4 games what this atmosphere can be, and now it's going to be on steroids against New England.
Well, they built it, right? Cincinnati, San Diego, Seattle, Indianapolis, Houston, and then Buffalo. So he's right. They built this thing through to a point where you can expect folks to show up. It's the home opener. It's the New England Patriots. It's the statement game that you were talking about. You can expect this place to be wound up probably an hour before game time. You will have more fans in the stands than you had at any point an hour before game time last year.
You're the guru. Biggest one ever? Regular season?
Regular season?
Yeah.
It's as big as any. I mean, so there's Pittsburgh on Monday night in '97 was really big. The Dolphins on Monday night in '98 was really big. This is as big as any of those.
This one has more build-up to me than anything in the 90s.
It's going to be
It
fun.
was on social media in the
That's
90s.
for sure. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We'll have more ahead on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. Still to come on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. The GOAT is coming to Jacksonville. Jeff Lageman is in the film room with the head coach to break down Tom Brady. Plus, how well do the Jaguars know their teammates? Which of your teammates' real name is Robbie? We're going into the locker room for FAQ. But first, it's time for Know Your Jags, presented by Fields Automotive Group. Calais Campbell and giraffes, surprisingly, have a lot in common.
If you woke up tomorrow as an animal, what animal would you be?
I'll go gorilla. I am King Kong all day, every day. My spirit animal is a silverback gorilla. I'm probably gonna get that tattooed on my back here pretty soon. I jump out the bed like something wrong with me.
If I woke up tomorrow as an animal, I would like to be a lion. I like to be a dominant person. The lion is a strong, fierce animal, and it gets what it wants.
I'll be a lion. It's because I'll be a king of the jungle.
Bald eagle, for many reasons. They're endangered, so I mean, you don't have to worry about people shooting you down or anything like that. Plus, you get to see the skies and everything. So I'm going with the eagle, the bald eagle. I've always wanted to fly. I feel like that could be pretty cool. And they're just, I mean, they're like, you know, they represent America.
If I had to wake up tomorrow and be an animal, I'd probably be a koala or a sloth because I like to sleep a lot.
Grizzly bear. Hibernation, sleep for a couple months, get up, eat, powerful, fast.
Koalas sleep a lot?
Yeah, they only come down to the ground to like, use the bathroom and stuff like that. So that kind of sounds, yeah, that sounds like the life.
I guess a giraffe, it's natural, being 6'8", you know, kind of long neck. You know, I used to have a long neck. I guess I kind of got swole, but.
I will wake up and be a jaguar. Like I said, I'm married to the game, baby.
Jaguars Weekend is presented in part by TIAA Bank, created to serve, built to perform, and Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Gotta make plays. Gotta make plays. That's gonna happen. Hey, communicate, pick it up. I got you.
Inside handoff to Fournette, a little bit of running room inside the 40. First down and more. Leonard Fournette.
Don't talk that.
Leonard Fournette mic'd up is always entertaining. Check out all the mic'd up features weekly on Jaguars.com. Welcome back to TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. I'm Ashlyn Sullivan. On Sunday, the Jaguars defense faced the toughest task of the season, trying to pressure a 5-time Super Bowl champ. Jeff Lageman takes a look at what makes Tom Brady so unstoppable with head coach Doug Marrone in the Cadillac film room.
Doug, this week, tremendous challenge, New England Patriots. And it's got to start with Tom Brady and how he makes you guys as a defense cover literally every blade of grass.
Well, it's true. I think that, you know, through all the progressions or half-field reads or triangles, really everyone that's going out for a route is heavily involved, and you have to make sure that you cover them.
Yeah, and in this instance against the Texans, they got 5-man rush, okay, and hopefully if you got 5-man rush, you can get home. But this is where it becomes challenging for a defense because you've got 5 guys out in the route, and literally there looks like 3 options that are open, and he finds the running back James White, and he's got the most space of all three.
Well, I think that's one of the things, here you're obviously defending against a touchdown, it looks like right here. So, the deeper routes are covered, but then all of a sudden the routes underneath, he's going to be able to get them the football, and then you're giving these guys space, and when you give them space, they're great players.
And 19 years experience, you think that he ought to know when the corner's off, he can change a play whenever he wants to. And Philip Dorsett is a guy that they acquired last year, but you can see that there's much more chemistry with Dorsett this year.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, him being there for a year and then obviously, within their system, it definitely feels more comfortable with him. He's getting more involved each week. And then, right here is just a run-pass option. They're running their wham play inside, and he sees the corner off, and he knows he can pick up, some easy yardage, and again, miss tackle, and you gain more yards.
Tom Brady, I think maybe one of the most impressive things is the tight end and the chemistry that he has with Rob Gronkowski, and the numbers speak for themselves with Rob Gronkowski. And boy, I mean, tough matchup here. Zach Cunningham, the linebacker, in one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. He's going one-on-one. The safety's rolling over to the corner side and helps coming late. And that's one of the things that, you're not going to show, Tom Brady a lot of things that he hasn't seen before. He's going to see everything, and then when he feels that, he has the matchup that he wants, he's going to go ahead and hit him. And obviously, him and Gronkowski have a great chemistry together.
So when you were 41 years old, did you feel like playing football still?
No. It's amazing, but we don't. When you look at him, you don't look at him as the age. You look at him as someone that obviously can beat you many different ways. He may not be able to beat you with his feet, but he's probably underrated from a standpoint of his savvy in the pocket and moving. We're going to have to get him off the spot. We're going to have to move him. We're going to have to cover him. And try to force him, which is very difficult to do, to make some poor decisions.
All right, best of luck with it, Doug.
Great, thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. Do you know which Jaguar is a published author? Neither do his teammates. It's time for Jaguars FAQ. Donald Payne, are you ready to play the Jaguars trivia game that is sweeping the nation, Jaguars FAQ?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
I am. Yes, I am.
Which of your teammates' real name is Robbie?
We allowed to give a...
Don't cheat.
I'm about to skip that one right now.
No, you can't skip. He's a very important player on this team.
So they don't go by Robbie?
Blake.
How'd you know that? No one else knew that.
Someone told me, I think it was Saturday.
Wow.
Oh, Blake?
Robbie Blake Bortles.
Oh, really? See, nobody knew that. Nah, see.
Blake.
Yep.
Wow, his name Robbie? Wow.
Which Jaguar on defense was also a running back in high school and college?
Myles Jack.
Myles.
Yep.
Oh, that's easy. Myles Jack.
Well done.
That's my guy.
Which Jaguar on offense played the tuba and saxophone growing up?
It's going to be a lineman.
I'm gonna go with Linder.
That's tough. I have no idea.
You a rookie?
No.
Austin? Okay.
Yeah, ASJ. Yeah, I gotta be him. It wasn't Niles. I know it wasn't Niles. He wasn't playing no saxophone.
ASJ?
Yep.
Oh, I can see that.
Who on this roster is a published author?
Calais Campbell.
No, everyone's gonna guess that.
I know, right? I know, right?
I know it's not Tink. It is Tink? Wow.
Tinker.
Yep.
Oh my God, Tinker. Cool, hey, I got most of them right.
Carson Tinker.
Oh.
You were all worried that you weren't going to do well.
I never do, but I'm surprised I did.
Thanks for playing. There's still more to come on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. Up next, we get in the community with the quarterback and headed to the kitchen for Gameday Grub.
Fly around, have fun, let's stay together no matter what. All right. Family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Blake Bortles getting his team hyped for their season opener. Welcome back to TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. I'm Ashlyn Sullivan. With all the hype surrounding NFL Sundays, we sometimes forget what's important. September 11th is a day where we reflect on the lives lost and the people who helped save lives on that day. Blake Bortles showed his appreciation on 9/11 by hosting a great event for some area first responders. That's this week's Baptist Health feature. The Jaguars wanted to give back to the heroes of that tragic day 17 years ago. The Jaguars still remember where they were during that time.
I was in 4th grade at Lawton Elementary in Miss Lewis's class. I remember that, like it was yesterday. Unfortunately, very unfortunate. Just sitting there watching it on the news, kind of as a young kid, just not really understanding what was going on.
First responders risked their lives to save countless people on 9/11. Jaguars cornerback DJ Hayden has always appreciated their work, especially after first responders saved his own life during a freak accident on the football field at the University of Houston.
The first responders, I mean, I kind of had a little experience with them, like back when I was in college, of people just how they react to stuff. Like, it's their job to go and react to situations, and how they do it efficiently, just without kind of like a rule book. They just kind of have to play it by ear. I mean, big ups to them, and man, without them, man, they make this country a lot better.
The Jaguars, alongside the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville, hosted a Q&A and played games with kids while discussing the importance of respecting law enforcement.
I think the integrity, the courage of everybody that was a part of that day and helping do whatever they could to save anybody they possibly could and help out in any way they could, I thought was extremely admirable.
Bortles said he always wanted to be a firefighter when he was a kid if football didn't work out. The Jacksonville Fire and Rescue Department awarded Blake with his own fireman hat for his efforts, helping him live out a part of his childhood dream. It's great to see the quarterback giving back to the community that supports him every Sunday. Time to get into the kitchen with Gameday Grub, presented by Tico People's Gas. This week, we're cooking chicken shawarma. For the full recipe and information about natural gas and available energy conservation rebates, visit peoplesgas.com/cooking. There's more to come on TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. The keys to defeating the Patriots are next.
The Jaguars, all the way, offense, defense, can't stop them, baby. The Jags, go Duval!
Myles Jack's mom excited that this team is 1-0, joined again by Sexton and John Oehser. Myles Jack said earlier in the week that this is the biggest week of his life. Is that too dramatic?
Well, when he first said that, I was a little worried, and then I listened to him say it again on Wednesday. I think he's got the proper perspective. He was talking about it within the context of getting a chance to go to 2-0. He understands that he's the story with the Myles Jack wasn't down thing. I think he's handled all that really well. So it's big, but I think he gets up for every game. I don't get the impression he's tight or this is a problem for him this week.
No, he's not tight. And I go back to what I said earlier in the show. If that works for him, use it. If that being a big week motivates him, drives him to be the best prepared he's ever been for a game, use it. You're going to see more Myles Jack wasn't down. Signs, references, body paint, tattoos, book it. You will see it all over the stadium. It is a big week for him because folks have put that moment in their memory and it showed up all over social media. There's no way it doesn't become the center point, at least until kickoff.
You get some body paint there for the Myles Jack?
You just wait.
Show me later. Show me later.
I'll show you.
They've bought into it, that's for sure. The Brady and Belichick duo, the Jaguars are 0-8 against them. How do they take that down?
Well, they're 0-8, but let's keep it in perspective. They're 0-7 in a lot of years where they didn't match up well. This team is 0-1 and had them on the ropes, so I don't think this team thinks of a big hurdle to have to cover. You hit him and you turn the ball over.
You got to be in the right place at the right time against Brady. Last year he had the laceration on his thumb. He was playing without Gronkowski. He was down 10 points in the second half, and he still found a way to come back and win. Right?
Yep.
Against this defense. So the way that you beat him is you're in the right spot at the right time on 3rd down and 18 and in the back of the end zone so that you don't give him a window.
What does this Jaguars offense have to do? We haven't mentioned them much.
Run the ball.
Yeah.
It's their personality. They must be able to run the ball whether Fournette plays or not, which means the offensive line has to play better than they did in New York. They did not have a good day.
At some point they have to run, and I get that. I've been writing it all week, but I think they're going to have some shock and awe moments with the passing game where they try to do things they're not expecting.
Well, it's going to be an awesome atmosphere. That's one thing we do know. Thanks so much for tuning into this TIAA Bank Jaguars Weekend. We'll see you next week.